Now, let me tell you more about the lockdown. In the past few days, as you're well aware of, residents of some of our major cities here in this country have been ordered by the president to stay at home, except for people offering essential services in order to slow down the spread of coronavirus. A joint team of police and military have been tasked with a humanitarian operation to only allow people with essential services to go about their business. Now, there have been concerns raised by the police and the citizenry as well. Today, we engaged the Ghana Police Service, which is leading the operations on the AM show, assessing the enforcement of the president's directives so far. They answered questions from viewers as well. Here is a wrap.
Some interactions between the police and citizens during the lockdown period. Essential service providers, people with tangible reasons to be on the streets, have been given access through many of these checkpoints dotted along the main roads in the two affected cities. Viewers of Joy News were today given the opportunity to ask various questions on the operations since it started on Monday dawn. These were largely on alleged police and military brutalities, vehicles and some essential service workers being asked to return. DSP Efiatenge, Public Relations Officer for the Accra Police Command, Chief Superintendent Kwesifori, Director General in charge of Operations Accra Command, and Deputy Commander of the Ashanti Region Police, ACP David Ajiman Ajem, had the answers.
And our reporters confirmed this yesterday. Sometimes you return the commercial vehicles, but within the trotros, you would have maybe a nurse or somebody who is in the exempt category. Why do you do that?
I think two things. What we realize is that sometimes the vehicles, you ask the persons in the vehicle and you realize that most of them, as my colleague said, are just coming to town for nothing. They may not have any tangible reasons for coming to town. And let's assume that a trotro that has, say, 10 persons and only one person is in the exempt. I mean, I think it's prudent to let that one person come out, find alternate transport for the person, and ask the others to go.
It's sensitive because the way they are mishandling, especially youth, is not fair. Me, myself, have witnessed not twice, more than 3 times. Because who MC Assembly has come out on the FM, I'm sure it's one of the most major radio stations.
Throughout our briefings, we've impressed on the officers not to do that. But of course, a few recalcitrant ones will do that. But what we are doing is that if anybody suffers any things like that, we should make a report and we'll deal with these up. Again, you were asking why people are walking alone and we accost them.
Exactly.
Yes, but the thing is that we said there's a restriction. People must not come to town unless for specific reasons.
Viewers also had questions on why some of the team leading the operations had no personal protective equipment. DSP Efiatenge said the service took delivery of some and it will soon distribute to the personnel.
In that regard, I think we received a number of PPEs that were supplied to them. I am yet to also find out why they are doing this actually without gloves, because most officers have been issued with such gloves to work with them, so that they themselves do not expose themselves to the danger that we are all fighting.
Joy News' Roland Walker had an experience of how some communities have scaled up security presence than others. Listen to the response from Chief Superintendent Kwesifori.
Each community has its own history and what happens in there. And one thing I will say is that we are not discriminative, but in line with our operation, that we know where challenges are. We know where we have lesser challenges. And for instance, the Sherman that you spoke of, the population is very huge, and the police have to make sure that they put stringent measures on the ground to make sure that people comply with. For instance, it's legal, not that people don't violate some of the regulations. We see people driving around and we stop them, check them, and we ask them to go back and so forth. There are also a lot of infractions in those communities. But one thing is, as I said, the police have that discretionary power, and every situation demands a strategy within the larger frame. So all that we are doing at Ashama, Nima, Sukura, and all those things are in line with the prevailing situation.
He had an appeal to the general public. Those that are not providing essential services will not be allowed to compromise their operations.
Make sure that you take good care of yourself. Stay at home. Don't go out there. And you know, even some have even deceived the police who are going to the former station. And don't forget, we have the CID and we have intelligence-led systems, you know, to track. And you follow the person and you see that person will not go to pharmacy shop, but rather you find him at a beer bar. There we have to smoke you out and ask you to go. Either we arrest you or we send you to the police station for questioning. But one thing is that let us play it safe, because when you take it on a much lighter note, there is the likelihood that you might infect others, even your loved ones, in your own house or community. Therefore, let's be serious about it. The police will prosecute this agenda and will not abuse human rights of individuals. Will make sure that rather we look up to the law and the regulations guiding this exercise. The operational teams are out there, and we are doing everything possible with our sister security agencies, the military, you know, to make sure that we protect the good people of this country. And those who have decided, you know, to take the laws into their own hands, to challenge authority and so forth, will not be allowed.
Chief Superintendent Kwesifori rated the operation so far.
The operation has been good. It has been well directed by commanders, and we are doing great day 3.
Okay, let me ask you, on a scale of 0 to 10, how will you rate the operation so far?
For day 3?
Yeah, yes.
It may be 8 over 10.
In all, it was a good interaction that brought some clarity, but at the heart of all that was the need for the public to stick to the rules, as this scholar said.
Comment on this issue on the role of the police and the military. As a matter of fact, if we can leave the military and the police to do their work, because I just stepped out and came back, some drivers are just misbehaving. They are misbehaving, and they need to be disciplined. Let us not restrict them. You see, no policeman or military man will intentionally decide to beat a driver.
There are 10 more days of the president's directive to go, and it's still #stay at home and save lives to help break the chain of the virus.